going to start in butterfly pose, Bardakanasana. So sitting on your block, you might even want a bit of extra height if your hips are tight. Take the socks off. So then drawing the soles of your feet together, holding onto your ankles. Then pressing down through your sitting bones, lift your chest up, draw your navel in, so get the spine nice and long. Lifting up through the crown of your head. And then feeling the glute medius, the outer buttocks working as you flap your little butterfly wings. So just nice and steady, just little pulses to draw the knees down. So opening through the adductors, the inner thigh muscles. And then we're going to hold, as you draw the knees out, hold them down, lift your chest, and then draw your navel in, start to curl in. So you're bringing the rib points down towards the hip. Start to curl in. You can move your hands to clasp around your toes. But draw your elbows in. You can even use the elbows to press the thighs down. Start to curl, relax the head down, but really lifting up the pelvic floor. Drawing the navel right towards the spine, curling in. Feeling that deep stretch in the inner thighs. So really pressing the heels together. And then you're going to inhale, unfurling to sit. Take your hands to the outside of your knees. Draw your knees in. Come onto hands and knees. Plantar fascia stretch. Tuck your toes under. And then come up onto the balls of your feet. Fingertips down. And then we're going to lower the knees just off the mat. So you want to find the point on your own feet where you actually just come off the balls of the feet. So you're stretching through the toes. So the plantar fascia being that connective tissue along, that's webbing along the bottom of the foot that the Achilles attaches into. So we're just trying to get it nice and loose so it can let go of its grip on the Achilles, and therefore the calves, knees, thighs, hips. Okay, so just rocking onto the toes and back. And then drop your knees. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. You can do the Gastroc Smash. So your gastric medius, that fat part of your calf. The soleus is the lower thin part of the calf. And you want to bring your opposite shin just below the fat part of the calf. So this is where the Achilles inserts. So pressing the shin bone down, and then you're going to sit back. Might be a bit painful. So you want to, it's like a little massage. So pressing the weight of you down onto that shin bone, which presses into that just below the fat part of your calf, and rock side to side. You might want to bob gently up and down, take the weight off if it's a bit intense. So this massage is just helping to release the calf muscles a little to help release. So the Achilles, largest tendon in your body, it doesn't stretch, minimally. It doesn't have much blood flow either. So we're trying to stretch the muscles around it and bring the blood in to the area. So change to the other side. So shin bone, pressing in. You might need to move the knee out a little to get that angle just below the fat part of the calf. Sit down and rock. You'll find that point where you know you need to hang there a little bit longer. So then anything that where you feel tightness, just if you've got a foam roller, a ball of some kind, if you haven't got a therapy ball, and just using, they say a lacrosse ball, but I don't have one of those, but something that's a bit firmer than a tennis ball because they give a bit too easily, but just rolling to release the fascia, which can stick to the muscles. Okay, let's get moving. Come forward, palms down, place the hands well, index finger forward, your tree frog, let the knuckles, the palms press down into the mat, lifting up into down dog, and then walk your dog, so stretching through the calf muscles, slowly alternating the heels as you press one down. You can even rock the knees under, just warming the hips up. And up on your toes, bend your knees deeply, look forward, step, hop, jump forward. And we're going to lift up through the thighs. Bring your hands, your thumbs into your hip creases, pushing up and back. Draw the navel in, lift up through the kneecaps, hinging upwards. You're going to come straight into chair pose, Utkatasana, which means fierce. So getting that heat into the thighs. So bring your feet hip distance apart, sinking down, neutral spine. So don't tip the bottom up or under, neutral. Draw the navel in, and you want to glance down. As you sit down, you want to draw the knees back slightly so you can see your toes. Bring your arms forward and up. If shoulders are too tight, just leave the arms forward. But you want to plug the arm bones in, so slide the shoulder blades down your back. You can curl, so draw that arc with the nose to look between your hands. And now we're going to come up on our toes. Balancing. So thighs are hip parallel, but feel as if you're hugging the shins and thighs towards the midline, drawing the navel in. Can you sit down a little further? Exhale, heels down, float forward, forward fold. You can bend your knees if you need to, hold onto your elbows. Going to come into that again, inhale, chair pose. So bringing strength into the ankles, obviously the calves, but keep length in the spine, drawing the tailbone down, lifting the crown of the head, the hands up. Keep the breath coming in nice and even, and then exhale, folding forward. Hands into the thumbs into the hip creases, straight legs, reach the chest forward and up. Exhale. Tadasana, mountain pose, front of the mat. So we're going to skip Sun Salute A. We're going straight into Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salute B. So this is with chair pose, Utkatasana, and Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. So as you can tell, we're working on calves, ankles, the lower leg today, which is why balance is really helpful. When you're on one leg, you can focus entirely on that leg and not let the other one compensate. And all those tweaks as you balance is really good for building strength through the ankles. Helps with shin splints if you're a runner. Okay, so from Tadasana, we're going to come into chair pose. So sinking down, bring your arms forward, glance down, check you can see your toes sitting down. Then exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Tailbone goes up, feel that lovely hamstring stretch. Exhale, palms down, step back and roll forward into plank. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Warrior 1, so from down dog, lift the right leg up, step the right foot between your hands, drop the left heel down. So separate the feet hip distance apart, left toes pointing slightly forward. right knee bent. Now level the hips to the front of the mat, so you're internally rotating the back thigh, driving through the left heel. Draw the navel in, knit the ribs together, so don't just let the core go. Bring your arms up. You can have James Bond fingers curling. Now a little back bend as you sink your hips, drawing the arc with your nose. Look up at your thumbs. Then exhale, palms down. Step back to plank. Tipping forward, you can drop your knees if you need to. Bend the elbows by your sides, lower, that's chaturanga, low press up. Inhale, cobra. Tops of the feet press down. Pubic bone presses down as you gently squeeze your glutes, draw your elbows down towards your waist. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Now we go the other side. So three-legged dog, left leg lifts, lower the right heel to the mat. Roll forward into plank, curl left knee to nose, bring the left foot between your hands. Drop the right heel down, toes pointing slightly forward, sink through the left knee. Drive through that back heel, feel that calf stretch. Bring your arms up. Looking up as you draw the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, palms down, step back. Roll forward into plank. Lowering through chaturanga, low press up. Inhale, cobra. Really activate the legs. Strongly pressing down through the tops of the feet. Lowering down, tuck the toes. Lift your hips into down dog. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, up on your toes, bend your knees deeply, come forward. Bardakanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale to chair pose. Then rising up to stand, palms together, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. And now we're going to step into pyramid. So take your left foot back, but not too far, maybe 2.5 feet or so. Separate your feet, hip distance apart, left toes pointing 45-degree angle, hands to hips, and then you're going to revolve the hips to the front of the mat. So you need to draw up through the kneecap, so engage the quad muscles. And then exhale, roll the front of the hips forward, tailbone goes up, come to halfway, which means you're at a flat back. Draw the navel in, gaze is down. Press into the big toe of the front foot. This is hamstring stretch. Also your IT band, so that connective tissue from the outside of the hip to the outside of the knee that can be an issue with runners, etc. So if you want to go a bit further, you can use the block to start to curl inwards, draw the navel in, or you can even fold over that front leg to intensify. Wherever you're at is good, but you want to keep leveling the hips to the front of the mat. So draw the right thigh back, left side of the hip rolls forward. Okay, bend the front knee. We're going to come into warrior 3, leg balance. So you can keep your hands on the ground or to a block in front of you if you find this a bit intense for this time of the morning. So you're going to come up onto the toes of the back foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Start to stand up through the right leg. So left leg goes back, flex at the ankle and internally rotate the thigh. So heel is going up to the ceiling. We're going to try, you can bring your hands to your heart or reach your arms. This is warrior 3 with the arms forward. So really strong in the thigh, the ankle, and then exhale, float left foot next to right. Stay with your knees bent. Bring your hands back to your hips. And then you're going to bring the left ankle across the right knee. So figure 4. So keep a little bend in the right leg. You're going to flex the left ankle and then sit down. So you want to feel as you sit down and bend through the right leg that you're stretching through this left hip. So hands can be on hips, or you can bring your hands to your shin and press the left thigh out slightly, but keep the left foot flexed, keep the knee safe. So you'll feel a stretch in both glutes, and then inhale to stand. Other side, so pyramid. Separate the feet. Right toes, 45-degree angle, hands to hips. Bring the hips level to the front of the mat. Draw the navel in. Pull up through the kneecaps. Exhale. Come to halfway or fold. Wherever you feel, you can keep drawing the hips level. Just taking a few steady breaths here. Going with what your body wants. You might feel this feels good. Might feel a bit too intense. As long as you've got that burning sensation in the belly of the muscle, that's good. If it's hurting around where it inserts, like the top or the bottom of the muscle, then no, don't do it. You need to back off a little. Okay, bend the front knee. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Stand, so bring your hands to your hips first, or you can have them on the block, and then you're going to push through the right heel, internal rotation of that leg. You'll reach the arms forward. You're trying to get in a line, so your heel, hips, shoulders, back of the head are in line, gazes down. And then exhale, float the right foot down, keep the knees bent, hands to hips. Figure 4, bring the right ankle across the left knee. Flexing the foot and then sit down. Lift your chest. Draw the navel in, lift the pelvic floor, sit down. So the brilliant thing about balance is there's not a lot else you can think about while you're trying to stay balanced, which is really cleansing for the mind. Like a dog chewing a bone or something, it just drains the stress out. You can press into that right thigh, deepen it, and then inhale. Slowly come to stand. And then we're going to come to sit on the mat. Begin to lie back. Bring your arms by your side, heels under knees. So you can just feel them with the tip of the middle finger. And then inhaling to bridge. So you're going to roll the back of the pelvis down, so closing that lumbar curve. Press through the arms and the palms. Inhale, lift the hips up. Gentle squeeze of the glutes, keep the thighs parallel. Dig the heels in, feel the hamstrings, glutes. And then exhale, lower down through the vertebrae. Hips coming down last. Inhale again, rock the pelvis back, lift the hips up. This time, clasp your hands underneath. So you want to almost roll onto the tops of the arms. So tucking them under, and then push the fist down and towards your heels. Dig the heels in. And push. Press down through the heels, but then push the feet away. Feel the quads engaging. Glutes stretching out the core. And then exhale, remove your hands to the side, lowering down through the vertebrae. Hug your knees in, just a little rock, massaging the lower back. And then we're going to rock to sit 3 times. Ooh. Knuckles, fingers down the dog. Okay, come to sit facing me. Hands on your thighs, shoulders relaxed, sit nice and tall. Close your eyes. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head and opening your eyes. Namaste.